and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada, located on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. Welcome Chayani, hi Fuang, nice to see our members coming back, and welcome to all of our viewers. Hi Abdulaziz, Hafsa, Mohammed, MJ, Christopher. Nice to see so many of you here and ready to learn. Students, we are looking at an IELTS Band 9 practice today for speaking part 3, talking about shopping for food. An activity that we all do regularly, hopefully. And we just finished part 2 in the previous class. That was about your favorite grocery store. So we are continuing on this same topic, because part 3 is connected to part 2. And this lesson is, as always, brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. Both of those websites have loads of information and materials for you to improve your English. And these are the websites we use in these live classes regularly to teach. They have our practice exams, our interactive courses, audio CDs. So click this big red button that's just above my head. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We are an IDP affiliate, British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. I'm a certified British Council agent. So you are in the right place to learn for IELTS, general IELTS, gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button there. Same idea as with academic IELTS, just focusing on general IELTS. All right, students, you can use this discount code here when you join. It's a new one coming from our latest video, and it's a simple one, FULL9, full 9. Type in full 9 and you'll get a 10% discount on the price. The price is different. In Canada it's 59 US, in India it's 19 US, I think in Turkey it's 39 US. So it depends on the country that you're in. We change the price to make it more affordable for people. All right, everybody. So you've got lots of content on the apps. The apps link to the websites. Download, install the app, Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. Follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS Help. You'll see the new schedule there today for these live classes. And if you have questions, you can send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. Sarah, I did not see your email. So students, if you, for some I checked and it should work. I don't know why we don't see your email, Sarah. The last email I see from you, Sarah, is August 20th in our email. So that's kind of strange, but I can give you a bit more help. Try sending it to admin@aehelp.com. So it's another one. It's an alternative. You can try both of those. Okay. If you've sent it to Adrian and you're not getting anything, send it to admin@aehelp.com. All right. Okay, students, lots of classes coming up October 1st to October 9th. We'll have lots of live IELTS classes here on YouTube for you. We will also have a class tomorrow on Discord. So check out that class on Discord tomorrow. That will be task 2 writing. And then next week we kick off on the 6th. We'll have classes 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell, the notification button, just so you see what's going on. And you can find some really good new releases like this video that I'm putting into the chat. There's a good new new release. Check that out, Speaking Part 1 and 2. Some great answers by a candidate from Madhya Pradesh, India. All right, everybody. So speaking part 3, we're going to do lots of speaking in this class. I want to dedicate most of this class for you to practice your speaking so I can tell you what your band score is. I will give you kind of estimates based on the marking criteria like fluency, coherence, grammatical range accuracy, lexical resource pronunciation. So I'm going to break it down for you. Okay. Sarah's asking, I have an exam on the 8th. What do you advise me to do? Definitely do some timed practice exams, Sarah. So sit down, do a full exam from start to finish in 3 hours. So timed practice exams when you're close to your exam date, just so you can feel what it's like to sit for 3 hours doing the IELTS exam. Okay. All right, so students, we just finished a speaking part 2, favorite grocery store. I talked about D-Mart, but it could have been Walmart, it could have been Auchan or Costco, so we just talked about a big supermarket. And we want to remember that for part 3, okay? Part 3 questions, they're specific. You need to give nice full sentence answers, use good vocabulary, use grammar, use the question. So here we go. Let me show you, and then we'll do it together, and then you get to practice. So that is the end of part 2. We will now continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you a question connected to your response and some questions related to the topic of part 2. Let's talk about shopping for food. What are some of the most common types of foods that people purchase around the world? Well, I think that the most popular foods that many people buy around the globe include carbohydrates, like bread and rice, as well as certain vegetables like carrots and potatoes, and some types of meat like chicken, right? Everything tastes like chicken. Chicken and pork. Because people need these for nutrition. I bought most of these last week when I was at D-Mart. Students, this is speaking, so speak and repeat. Copy what I say and copy your peers. Okay, so repeat. Yeah, the size is good. Sure, everybody can see it. So, IELTS speaking part 3, speak and repeat. Copy me. Copy your peers. Here we go. Let's talk about shopping for food. What are some of the most common types of foods that people purchase around the world? Well, I think that the most popular foods that many people buy around the globe include carbohydrates like bread and rice, as well as some vegetables like carrots and potatoes, and some types of meat like chicken and pork, because people need these for nutrition. I bought most of these last week when I was at D-Mart. That's right, Romelia. They are staple foods. We call these staple foods, yeah. Absolutely. Why do you think these kinds of foods are readily available? I believe that such staple foods, let's use her, right, Romelia? I believe that such staple foods are found in most supermarkets because people like their flavor and these are mass produced throughout the world. I know that carrots are grown in just about every country. And chicken is eaten almost anywhere I go. Nice, natural, connected, right? Repeat after me. Why do you think these kinds of foods are readily available? Readily available means commonly available. I believe that such staple foods are found in most supermarkets because people like their flavor, and these are mass produced throughout the world. I know that carrots are grown in just about every country and chicken is eaten almost anywhere I go. Hafsa says, I believe that such staple food is found in many stores because of their flavors and they are up for hand for everyone. I don't know what that means, Hafsa. Up for hand. And they are affordable for everyone, so everybody can buy them. They are affordable. Okay. Romelia says it is also crucial for the environment to buy seasonal fruits and vegetables so that they are not transported from long distances, therefore burning lots of fossil fuels and using lots of energy. Right, Romelia? Make sure you finish your answers, Romelia. Make sure that you're not speaking from the heart during the IELTS exam because that can get you into trouble if you're off topic, okay? Dumb Zed says... This is what Dumb Zed says. Let me grab Dumb Zed here from the chat. Dumb Zed says, well, the most popular foods that people purchase across the globe include rice, vegetables, and fruit because it's available in all stores. I bought chicken at Yendor supermarket last week. Nice. Anahita says, now, Damzed, I know that that was your answer for the previous question, not the follow-up. Let's check out Anahita. Anahita's answering this question of why these foods are readily available. Anahita says, these fast foods are accessible because of the development of technology. Moreover, they are yummy and delicious. Therefore, they are easily merchandised. They are easily advertised. Merchandise is usually for merchandise, which is not really food. So merchandise is usually like shoes, mobile phones, pen, paper, clothing. We usually do not refer to food as merchandise. According to the definition of merchandise, it would make sense, but we just don't use it in natural English that way, Anahita. So careful with that. Are easily advertised. Okay. It's tricky sometimes. Natural English is always evolving and you always have to test it, right? That's how you know. And natural English is different in different places, right? Like a British person might say, Adrian, we sometimes say merchandised for groceries, although I haven't heard it, but you never know, right? Okay, students, practice makes perfect, and that's very true. And we have been looking at a lot of tips and strategies throughout this week. And a lot of tips and strategies I repeat again and again because there is really only so much that I can tell you about speaking professionally. There's a lot, but a lot of these tips and strategies simply have to be put into practice. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to practice these with our viewers so you can volunteer for speaking. And again, remember on our websites, you can use this discount code FULL9 for that 10% discount. And to volunteer for speaking, that's free. You can do this for free. Create an account at aehelp.com. Go to your My Student account. Click on Student Partner Speaking. It'll be a blue button. You'll get a pop-up if you're using this for the first time. The pop-up will say, do you want to let this website use your microphone, your speakers? Yes. It's hard to talk without that. And then keep that window open. Don't close the window. You'll get that window. Keep it open. And then you will message me. My name will appear as Master, all big letters, easy to see. And you will see a blue envelope beside everybody's name. Click the one beside Master and write, I want to volunteer. And then I will ping you. Wait for me to ping you. Okay, so this is what you do. You go to aehelp.com. It will look like this. You can register a premium account with this big red button. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access, doesn't cost a lot of money. We use it in the live classes all the time. We're an IELTS test registration center, or you can just try it for free. You can click that green button and it'll just ask you for your email and your name to create the account. And then you go to your My Student account, which has all of your materials for these classes and for your study at home. You can even scan this QR code with your phone, and then that will get you into the app. Okay. So, yeah, computer-based practice exams, full online course, printable PDF exams, lesson videos, audio CDs, even additional services for helping you with your academic or professional CV and statement of purpose. But now, without going too far off topic, student partner speaking, boom, right there. That's what we're using. If you want to have a full IELTS speaking interview, click that yellow button, speaking interview practice, boom. If you see this red button that's kind of behind my head, like right there, you can register for your IELTS exam through our website as well, okay? Okay, Rumi says, I've tried many times, but I can't log in. Rumi, send me an email. So there's a reason for that. You have to see what it is. If you're using a VPN and being routed through China, China's firewall will stop just about any video chat program, okay? All right. So here we go. Let's go to student partner speaking. Right there. Wha-bam! Student partner speaking. And we are in here now. Chayani, Sunantha, I remember my promise. I shall not forget. We've got lots of people in here right now. It's good to see you back here as well. I remember seeing you in the last class. So make sure to volunteer. I can see those beautiful little orange ones popping up all over the place. That's awesome. Let me get my ears on. Sanantha, Chayani, I see you. Let me reach out to you and we'll start off. Here we go.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Chayani. How are you?
I'm doing fine today. How about you?
I'm doing great as well. Chayani, are you ready for a little bit of part 3?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome. Okay, good. We'll get right into it. So remember, part 3, right? Some good strategies connecting to part 2 and making sure that you give good explanations. Use numbers. Okay, here we go. So let's talk about shopping for food. What are some of the most common types of foods that people purchase around the world?
I think the most popular food over the world include like carbohydrates like rice or noodles. Furthermore, like a protein foods like tofu or chicken because people need nutrition for grow up their body. Yeah, just like yesterday, I bought some chicken and egg in the Lotte Mart.
Why do you think these foods are readily available?
I believe that such as the meat food are the most common found in the every side of the supermarket because uh, the the buyers like the flavor of the meat, and the meat is also fresh. Just like myself, I like to buy chicken because it is very juicy and it tastes is really good.
Do you think
So
that
it can.
groceries will become more expensive or cheaper in the next 5 years?
I think I think the price of the groceries will going up in the next 5 years because of the inflations, uh, exactly in the national debt. That would be that will be a higher cost of groceries, just like the protein and the carbohydrates food.
Okay, we'll stop there for now. Chani, that's good. All right, you're getting better and better. You still want to pay attention to grammar a little bit more, okay? And word form. I'm going to just hop back a little bit and correct a couple of mistakes. Some of your mistakes are very common. So your overall band score would be about a 6.5 for that, 6 to 6.5. So 6 to 6.5. Your coherence is about a 6.5. Your fluency is about a 6 to 6.5. Grammatical range is maybe 7. Grammatical accuracy is about a 5.5. Pronunciation is about a 6.5. Okay. If I really specifically break it down, I'll tell you why. So just so you know specifically, okay. So I said, what are some of the most common types of foods, right? And that one we practiced, and you did a good job practicing. You said, I think the most popular food all over the world are carbohydrates. Can you repeat this word after me? Carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates.
Okay, do you know how we say that in just a short way?
Carbo.
Good try. No, good try though. Almost. Carbs.
Carbs.
Carbs. Like that. C-A-R-B-S. Carbs. Very good try though. Carbo. Almost. Carbs. We replaced the O with an S. It's a little bit tricky. So you can say, I think the most popular foods all over the world are carbs, like rice or noodles. Repeat this word after me. Proteins.
Proteins.
Okay, proteins. Like tofu and chicken. Okay, good. So those parts were really good. By the way, your lexical resource mark, that means your vocabulary, is definitely a strong 7.75. Okay, so you've got lots of words. You just need to use them and use them correctly. Now, you said people need nutrition to grow up their body. I hear that mistake all the time, Chani. It's strange. I don't know why, but I think that's how it must translate in a lot of languages. In English, that's very strange to say to grow up the body. Okay. So people need nutrition to grow. Just
Only
that.
to grow.
Yeah, just that. To grow up their body, it sounds like we're plants and we're being watered to grow up big and strong. Okay, so it's one of those ones that inside of the head of the examiner, they're definitely going to smile. So people need nutrition to grow and develop physically and mentally. Okay, but like I say, I hear that mistake all the time. To grow up their children. No, not to grow up their children. Okay, to raise their children, not grow up their children. Raise their children. Okay.
Please note. Okay.
Yeah. So careful with that grow and that grow up. Okay. We do say, for example, like I grew up in a small town. Okay, but we don't say it in a way like you grow up someone. Okay, so it's a tricky one in English, that one. All right, so repeat after me. People need nutrition to grow and develop physically and mentally.
People need nutrition to grow and develop physically and mentally.
Very nice. Okay. All right. And then I asked you why these foods are commonly available. You gave me a pretty good answer there. And then I said, do you think that groceries will become more expensive or cheaper? And then you said, I think the price, you got to be fluent there. I think the price of groceries will continue going up. Okay. Not will going up. That was another grammar mistake there. Will continue going up, or will be going up. So you have a missing be verb there. So just repeat after me, Chayani, and everybody repeat after me. I think the price of groceries will be going up in the next half decade.
I think the price of the groceries will be going up in the next 5 decades.
In the next half decade.
Oh, in the next half decades.
Not decades, in the next half decade.
In the next half decade.
Yeah. And I see Romelia in the chat. Romelia, we don't say build up the body. We say build the body. Careful with prepositions in awkward places. Okay, students? So, all right. Chayani, importantly, you're talking about groceries. You said they will go up because of inflation. It's not countable. So because of inflation and national debt. Now we're talking about price, right? So what should you include in your answer when you're talking about price?
Number.
Numbers. Yes, numbers. What kind of numbers?
The cost of the groceries.
Yeah, so the cost of groceries. China, you're in Indonesia?
Yes, right.
Yeah, I got it. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Right. So the cost of groceries.
No matter.
It matters. It matters. The cost of how much have the cost of groceries gone up in Indonesia in the last 6 months?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, how much have the cost of groceries increased in Indonesia in the past 6 months?
I think I have to, from the example from the oil cooking, it's going up to 200,000 rupiah.
Give me a percent.
I'm confused.
How much percent? Like 10%, 20% higher for groceries?
55%.
55. That's very precise. Okay, because the cost of groceries have gone up 55% in Indonesia. That's a lot. But in Canada too. In Canada where I live, I think at least 20 to 30% in the last 6 months, 1 year. So the cost of groceries have gone up 55% in Indonesia in the last 6 months. Okay, so that kind of a sentence will be very effective. So can you repeat after me? The cost of groceries have gone up by 55% in Indonesia in the last 6 months.
The cost of groceries have gone up 55% in Indonesia in the last 6 months.
Right, so that kind of numbers. As soon as you hear something about price or distance or temperature. So those kinds of situations that we commonly measure with numbers, your brain should immediately go, okay, answer this and give some kind of a number to explain it or give an example. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So that will definitely help with clarity and to get that higher band score. Chayani, keep it up though. You're doing a good job. Okay. So keep working on that grammar and that fluency, and you're doing fantastic. All right.
All right.
Okay. Bye, Chayani.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sorry, and I
welcome.
got a lot of mistake.
Awesome. You'll get better, Chayani. Bye for now. Okay. That was Chayani. She's doing a great job. Okay. Very nice. And we'll now give Sunantha a chance. They were the two that were promised in the last class. Yuri and you, I love how you're in here. I wonder if it's the same person, but I will also come around to you as well. Sunantha, are you ready? Let's get Sunantha in there. Okay, thanks for the thumbs up, Fuang, for Chayani. Fuang, are you in here? I don't know if I've even heard your voice yet. Where are you? Are you volunteering? Where are you in here, Fuang? We're using aehelp.com, everybody, for this. You create an account, you go to Student Partner Speaking. Okay? All right. In the chat, students, use English only. Those people who are not using English, obviously, are the ones getting put into timeouts. Okay. Sarah says she has a problem with her mic. All right, Fuang, get that mic fixed. Sunantha, I see that you're ready. Let's do this. Hi, Sunantha.
Hi, sir.
How is life this weekend, Sunantha?
My life is quite busy with my job and studying.
Mm-hmm. Busy's better than boring, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. Although it's nice to relax sometimes. I know. All right. Sunantha, let's do this. So let's continue speaking part 3, talking about buying food. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that groceries will become more expensive or cheaper in the next 5 years?
Grocery will become more expensive than cheaper in the next 5 years because in the future we might facing the food crisis because the climate change and the pandemic pandemic situation might affect to our food and artificial we cannot we provide less food than nowadays, and why I think
have grocery stores changed in the last 20 years?
In my opinion, grocery store have been changed from the 2 decades because nowadays the convenience the grocery store dominated by the big company like Lotus or Walmart, and I have seen many local store was closed and in the future, in my opinion, I think it might disrupt the local store.
Okay, let's stop there. I want to give you some good feedback. All right, Sunantha, that is about a band 5.5-ish. Okay, so it's just under 6. 6 means that you're fluent and you're making some mistakes. 5.5 means that you're a little bit less than fluent and you're making mistakes. And that's why you get 5.5, is because you are a little bit less than fluent. So you have some breaks where I have to really just wait to see what you're going to say. However, your grammatical range, it's nice and high. Let's say 6.5 to 7. You said have been changed. So you're using present perfect, you're using continuous forms, you're using different forms of grammar. That's really good. Your vocabulary is about 6 to 7. And your grammatical accuracy is a little bit less. It's closer to 5. And again, that's very common. Okay. Let's jump back to my first question here. Do you think grocery stores will become more expensive or cheaper in the next 5 years? Okay, so Chayani paraphrased this a little bit. Chayani says the price of groceries will be going up. Going up means becoming more expensive, right? You use the same word. You said groceries will become more expensive than cheaper. It's okay to do that, but if you can paraphrase, then you're going to get a better mark for Lexical Resource for sure. So what's another way to say expensive?
High cost.
Okay.
Unaffordable.
No. Stay with the first one. It was better. So groceries will have higher costs. You can say it that way. And you don't need to compare it. You don't need to say then cheaper, okay? Because that makes sense. It's included in higher costs. So groceries will have higher costs or will be higher cost in the next 5 years. And then you said because in the future we might, I didn't really get what you were saying there. You said we might fix the food prices. What were you saying there exactly, Sunantha?
Food crisis.
We might
lack of fruit. Yeah.
Got
in
it.
The future.
Got it. So what you want to do, Sunantha, and this is for everybody, is really enunciate. So Sunantha, you're kind of soft spoken, which means you speak a bit softly. Do you do that in your own language? Like, do you speak a little bit soft? Do sometimes people say like, huh, or what was that? Like, do they ask you to repeat? Not so much. Are you more confident in your own language? Are you more like, whoa? Yeah. Is it just English where you're a little bit softer?
You mean soft?
Soft means like you're kind of quiet when you're speaking. Like you're speaking a little bit quietly compared to, average or other people.
Okay.
So on the IELTS, you want to be a bit aggressive, almost like you're a little bit angry. Okay, so you want to be like, because in the future, we might face a food crisis. Especially if you're doing a computer-based exam where you're speaking through the computer, you definitely want to be a little bit extra because the microphone and the camera, they take away from the emphasis. So we might face a food crisis, and then I can hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Because of climate change and the pandemic situation. Let's finish that idea. There is less production. Use affirmative language. Instead of saying, and this might affect, say, and this will affect food prices. Okay, it already has. Okay. And then stop. So you were kind of over speaking, and that's why I had to interrupt you. Not because I wanted to be a jerk, but because you were speaking so much that I had to get to that next question. Be careful not to overcomplicate your answers either. So careful with that. Okay. Sunantha, I'm going to say this and then repeat after me. Okay. So groceries will be higher cost in the next 5 years because in the future we will face a food crisis due to climate change and the pandemic. There's less production and this will affect the food prices. I expect they will go up by at least 100% within a year. Go for it.
Okay. I think grocery will be higher cost in the next 5 years because in the future we might face the food crisis because climate change and the pandemic situation, there is less production, and this will affect food prices. I expect that price will go up by 100% within the next 5 years.
Excellent. Much better. Okay, clear, direct, comprehensible. So a little bit aggressive. If you have to, Chayani, pinch yourself a little bit before you start speaking to the examiner, and then you'll get a little bit angry, and then you'll voice yourself stronger. Okay. All right. Just don't hurt yourselves, people. I'm not telling you to hurt yourself. Okay. All right. Chayani, thank you for volunteering. And we'll get to somebody else here in a moment. Keep up the good practice, okay?
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Bye, Chayani. Or Sunanta. Sorry. Bye, Sunanta.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that pinching comment got to me. All right. I should be careful what I say. Don't hurt yourselves, people. Don't hurt yourselves. Chayani's like, me? No, not you, Chayani. Sunantha. Sorry. I got confused. All right, Yuri. You've been patient, very patient, Yuri. Let's see if you're still with us. Are you ready? Amia, if the examiner is giving you weird looks, don't worry about it. They might not even be thinking about you. They might be thinking about their troublesome teenager at home that just stole money from their wallet. So just because the examiner is giving you weird faces doesn't necessarily mean they're about you. It's kind of like when I'm at the grocery store and the cashier's looking at me weird. I can kind of tell it's probably not because of me. It's probably because they're having a bad day. Okay, Yuri. All right.
Hear me?
Hi, Yuri. I can. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing great. Yuri, where are you calling from?
I'm from Belarus.
Belarus. Awesome.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of callers from Belarus. How is life in Belarus?
Not so good right now. We have a war near us, and it's not good for all the world.
Tough times, right? Tough times. We have to find the small pleasures in life. That's the trick to making it through difficult times. We have to find the little joys, in life.
Yeah,
All right, Yuri, you've been very patient. Yuri, are you also like you in the list of students, or is that somebody else?
No, it's
Okay.
it's not me.
I was just curious if you're using a double identity there. I will find you then. All right. Okay. Yuri, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Actually, I want to immigrate to Canada, or try to immigrate to Canada, and for that reason, I need IELTS exam.
Makes sense. All right. Well, let me help you with that. So let's get to some speaking. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
ready.
then let's talk about buying food. Here we go. Many people are concerned about the increasing amount of genetically modified foods in stores. Why is this?
Well, I think that genetically modified foods is really something new for us, and it's a new way to produce food, and some people can be afraid of this way of production, but I have another opinion, and I think this new way of production can provide us a better quality of food, and if I need to make a choice, I would rather choose genetically modified food than traditionally made.
Some people feel that grocery stores should be responsible for offering healthy foods to the public. Do you agree with this?
I'm not agree with this because I think we need the most big range of products in stores that we can have. So all people, everyone can choose what they want to buy, and it is only people responsibility what they buy, not stores.
Okay, let me stop there. Give you a bit of feedback. Yuri, that's about a band 6.5. In some parts, I'm thinking you're like a band 7.5. But then overall, once I think about everything you just told me, I score you at about a 6.5 because there are definitely a couple of places where I'm not 100% clear on what you're saying. So I'm trying to guess what exactly it is that you're saying. The first difficulty with the way that you're approaching this test, because it's a test, right? Sometimes, people online, they see that, it's an informal conversation with the examiner. No, it's not. It's a formal, professional, good communication interaction with the examiner where you're really just trying to show great English in a simplified way. So having said that, Yuri, avoid the truth. Okay, so in the IELTS, avoid the truth, especially because I can tell you're very philosophical. Okay, so when we were talking about genetically modified foods, I can tell you have a very clear opinion about genetically modified foods, and that opinion might not be an opinion that everybody likes, right? Most people are like, GMO is bad, down with Monsanto. And it's fine. It's totally okay to have your own opinion, and it's totally okay to have a different opinion than other people. There's no problem with that. But on the IELTS, explaining unique philosophy, unique ideas, can be very challenging. Even in our own language, that can take extra time and effort, right? So it's not the place. IELTS is not the place to get into an original philosophy or argument or debate. The examiner is not going to debate back. They're not going to be like, oh, really? Well, I think GMO is terrible because it makes produce susceptible to decimation from one pathogen. So they're not going to debate with you. They're just going to go to the next question, whatever you say. It doesn't matter to them, right? So careful with that, okay? I think you might get a much better band score if you just stick to something simple. All right, so many people are concerned about the increasing amount of genetically modified food in stores. Why is this? And then you said, well, I think that genetically modified food is really something new for us. And people are afraid of this. That part I thought was okay because, yeah, it's a good argument. People are afraid of novelty, right? So keep it simple. And people are afraid of novelty. Let me not do that. Yeah. So, and people are afraid of novelty. Okay. What's another reason, Yuri, that people are kind of against genetically modified food?
I really don't know.
Simple answer. Also, people think that GMO food is flavorless. Right? Have you heard that before? A lot of people say, when my grandpa bought tomatoes, they were real tomatoes. They tasted like tomatoes. But the tomatoes I buy today, they taste like water. Have you heard people say that?
Yeah, it's true.
Right, okay. So think simple, right? Think about, your everyday life, right? Also, people think that GMO food is flavorless and low nutritional value. Okay. And then definitely don't give like a contra opinion. Like, but if you ask me, people, it will solve world hunger and world population problems. No, not for IELTS, okay? We'll do that in a university debate class talking about global food economics, but not in the IELTS, okay? So, so that's all you want to say, And then maybe if you want to be really just clever, you can say, I bought a GMO tomato yesterday and it tasted like chicken. Because everything tastes like chicken, right? Okay. All right. So let's keep it simple. All right. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep our English just everything that we say in the IELTS. It's for that purpose of the high band score, because especially for you, you want to come to Canada, right? So so you want to get a band score of at least 7.5 on the speaking so that you can apply for the express entry visa. And so it matters, because for you, this could simply be that difference of 6.5 versus 7.5 or even more, 8. So practice with me, okay? I'm going to say this one more time and then just practice with me. So, well, I think that genetically modified food is really something new for us, and people are afraid of novelty. Also, people think that GMO food is flavorless and has low nutritional value, so they're concerned. I bought a GMO tomato yesterday. It tasted like chicken. Go for it.
Well, I think that genetically modified food is really something new for us, and people are afraid of novelty. Also, people think that GMO food is flavorless and low nutritional value, so they're worried. I bought a GMO tomato just yesterday, and it tastes like chicken.
There you go. So stick to common, right? Stick to the common concept. It doesn't mean use simple English. If you know a good word, if you know better vocabulary, for sure, but don't philosophize, okay? Be really careful with that, all right? Okay, come back again, Yuri, and then we'll talk again, okay?
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Yuri. All right, let's hope that Yuri's day is filled with just a lot of little happy moments in life to cheer you up, Yuri, and keep ambitious. Come to Canada. Life is good here. Thumbs up. Everybody give Yuri a thumbs up. Give Chayani, Sunantha a thumbs up. Let's see what's going on with you now that we know that you is somebody else. I'm ready with fingers crossed. You, are you still ready? You might have to uncross your fingers to click that keyboard. Are you ready? Typing with fingers crossed could be challenging. It's like you're a little crab. Okay. Okay. You says yes. All right, you. Let's see if you're there. Hello, you. Very quiet, you. I can't hear you yet. I'm not sure if you enabled your microphone or if it's something with your connection. Make sure you have a good connection. Make sure the microphone's working. You might want to mute YouTube and check your mic settings on your computer. Make sure you have the right input device selected. No, you. No, you. All right, you. Check it out. You, one step that you can take is check it with another person. So reach out to Chayani, reach out to Yuri, try to ping Sarah and say, hey, can we test my mic? Can you help me out? What's going on here? So you, test it with somebody else, try again, and when you're ready, let me know, okay? All right, students, test the system. Make sure you enabled your microphone for the website, okay? Twisha, are you ready? Let's see if Twisha's up for some part 3 questions. Twisha's there. Hi, Twisha.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
I am doing good, Twisha. Twisha, where are you calling from? Oh, I think we lost Twisha. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, Twisha, that was interesting. Somehow the line just got disrupted there. We got disconnected. If you come back, I'll look for you, okay? I'm not sure what happened there, but it's like we lost the connection, all right? Okay, Harjot. Let's see if Harjot is there. Harjot, are you there? Very polite of you, Harjot. Says, please pick me. Are you there? And Twisha, again, if you come back, I'll look for you, okay? Try to make sure you have a stable connection. Harjot, if you're there, let me know, and I will reach out to you. And in the meantime, I'm going to find my water. There it is. All right. Pick up the phone, Harjot. Pick up the phone. All right, we've got lots and lots of ringing, but I don't hear anybody picking up. All right. Let me do a shift refresh. Sometimes, students, if you hit shift refresh on the page, it might fix some kind of browser issue as well. So I'm going to do a shift refresh here on the page and just give it a quick one over. And then hopefully I'll get a better connection with some of you. You never know. It could be on my end, right? There's a lot of different moving pieces to the internet. Routers and modems and databases and servers and wires and infrastructure, a lot of places for mistakes to happen. So just be patient, do a shift refresh, and you're good to go. All right, send me a message, everyone. I just hit a shift refresh, so if you're there, let me know. Sarah, I can see you volunteering. That is fantastic. Twisha is back. Let's give Twisha a second chance here. Twisha, ready for round 2? All right. Twisha says, I'm ready. Okay. Let's do this. Hello
Hi.
again. Hi, Twisha.
Hi.
Fingers crossed. We have a stable connection.
Yeah, am I audible?
You are. Loud and clear. Yeah. It's like you're sitting in my ear. All right. Twisha, where are you calling from? I'm
from India.
And what part of that big, beautiful country are you in?
I'm from Gujarat. It is westernmost state of India.
Okay, Gujarat. Yeah, we have a good number of callers from Gujarat, so that's great. And Twisha, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Actually, I'm planning to do a master's in UI UX design, which is a part of computer design. So, yeah.
Does that mean like user interface?
Yes, exactly. User interface and user experience design.
Okay, that is an important part. We're working on that in our company, on our website these days as well. Okay, well, let me ask you some questions, Twisha, and then I'll give you some feedback. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, so let's talk about buying food. What are some of the most common types of foods that people purchase around the world?
Well, I think the most popular food items that are purchased by people these days are mostly fast foods, and also due to huge rise in healthy food ideas, so that has also increased the purchase in healthy nutrition rich foods.
Do you think the cost of foods will go up in the next 5 years?
I believe the prices of food will rise in the next half decade due to inflation and pandemic. In my country, the prices have gone up at about 20%, 20 to 30%.
A lot of people are concerned about the increasing amount of genetically modified foods in the world today. What is your opinion on this?
I think people's concern for genetically modified food items is quite fair due to its low nutritious values, and also it doesn't taste great. So it's fair for them to be concerned.
Okay. So your band score is about a 7.
Okay.
And your grammatical accuracy is about an 8.5. You're grammatically very accurate. So you have nice, clean grammar. It's easy to understand. Where grammatical accuracy is important is in comprehension. So when grammar is accurate, it's easy to understand what the speaker is saying. Your pronunciation is a band 8, band 9. You have very clean pronunciation. It's easy to understand your words. Pronunciation isn't super important, but it is important that I understand what you're saying. So that's good.
Okay.
Your lexical resource is about a band 7. So you have enough vocabulary to express your thoughts, but you're not using the right vocabulary all the time, and you're definitely not using the best vocabulary all the time. Let me show you that, which of course in part 3 is especially tricky because, you know, it's very specific questions, right? So it's hard to come up with the exact right vocabulary. So you can increase that with lots of reading, and, you know, that takes time. It does take time. So don't worry about it too much. Let me give some feedback here on what you said, and then give you some more specific feedback. And so,
Sure.
what are some of the most common types of foods that people purchase? You said, well, I think the most popular food items that are purchased, nice passive voice, well used, by people these days are mostly fast foods. When you say fast foods, what do you mean?
Like pizza and burger.
Good. Just those 2 words really help to emphasize and clarify your ideas. So include those details, okay? When you're practicing at home, make sure to include those details, like pizza and burgers. And then you said, and due to the huge rise in healthy food ideas, and due to the natural way to say this with the right vocabulary would be, and due to the increasing health awareness.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's where I was looking for that word, like awareness, right? So
Even I was searching for it, but I couldn't get it.
yeah, and if you have this situation at home, students, where you know that, oh, there's that word, what's that word? Don't give up on it, okay? So try to find it, and all you need to do is just Google it. So you open up Google and you say something like people thinking about healthy food, and I guarantee you one of the hits will be health awareness. Like if you're anywhere close to the idea, then Google will spit out the right term or the right vocabulary. So, and due to the increasing health awareness, this has also increased the purchase of organic foods.
Yeah.
Because you said nutritionally rich foods and healthy foods, but that's kind of repetitive. I think what you're thinking of is like locally produced organic foods.
Yeah.
So I'm giving basically the same information as you, just with the band 8, band 9 vocabulary that they would be looking for in that kind of context. Okay, so let's try this one here. I'm just going to say it and then repeat after me, okay? So here we go. Well, I think the most popular food items that are purchased by people these days are mostly fast foods like pizza and burgers because they're cheap and quick. However, due to the increasing health awareness, this has also increased the purchase of locally produced organic foods.
All right. Should I go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think the most popular food items that are purchased by people these days are mostly fast foods like pizza and burger, as it is very easy to make them. However, uh, due to the increase in health awareness, this has also changed the purchase of locally produced organic foods.
Much better, much better. So that answer is easily a 7.5, but I think a lot of examiners would give you an 8.85 for that kind of an answer. Okay, just those couple of slight pauses. If you take those out, it would be a band 9. Okay, but overall, very good. So pay attention to content. Do lots of reading. Okay, lots of reading before the exam, just to get your mind spinning with the right vocabulary. Okay. But otherwise, good. Your English is great, Twisha. So keep it up. All right, and come back and volunteer again.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye, Twisha. All right. Thumbs up for Twisha. First time to really volunteer. She came back. She didn't give up, and that was good. That was really good. Okay, so that's what you want to do. We can all improve. I don't speak English perfectly. Nobody does. There's no such reality as perfect speech, right? Because it always depends on our audience as well. Thank you, Patek, and thank you, Fong and Chayani, for the thumbs up. Let's see if we can find somebody else here. Karem. Karem says, hi. Karem, hi. Are you ready? Let's see if Karem is ready to go. Karem says, I hope I'm ready. All right, Karem.
Hello,
Hi, Karem.
can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I will be okay, I hope. What about you?
I am feeling great. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm still a little bit congested. It feels like I have cotton balls stuck up my nose sometimes. But no, I'm good. So overall good. So you're nervous, I'm congested, we've got our issues, but we'll make this work, Karem. Why are you taking the IELTS exam?
And because I'm planning to do a master in UK or USA.
Awesome. What are you doing your master's in?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, what do you plan to do your master's in? What specific field of study?
Yeah, I'm thinking in computer science. I
All
hope
right.
it will be done.
Good. Yeah, there are a lot of people doing masters in computers or in some area of computers, like what Twisha was saying with UI and UX. Okay, all right. Well, let me ask you a few part 3 questions, and then just give me some nice full sentence answers. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about shopping for food. How have grocery stores changed in the last 20 years?
Yeah, grocery stores has changed in 2 decades, and in the past there were less people who need to buy that kinds of foods, so that stores were not able to supply many foods from producers, but these days they need to get much more. And I also read about an article that was about grocery stores operation.
Do you think grocery stores will continue to change in the future?
Yeah, I think this rate will increase in coming years because of increasing population. Distributors should work a little bit extra maybe. And also last week I listened a podcast about this issue, and it said like in the future people may have trouble with providing foods.
Okay, let me give you some feedback. So you would probably score around a band 6 for those answers. Okay.
Okay.
But it might be lower. It might be a 5.5. There's a very simple reason for that. You're not clearly answering these questions for me. So if we were not in an IELTS exam, if we're just sitting in a coffee shop having a conversation, I would have to ask you some follow-up questions to get a clear idea of what you're saying. Like I would, so for example here, how have grocery stores changed in the last 20 years? And you said grocery stores has changed. It should be have because it's plural, so watch your grammar. Grocery stores have changed in 2 decades. In the past, there were less people who needed, past tense, to buy that kinds of foods. My immediate question here in a coffee shop, examiner will not do this. Examiner will just give you a lower mark because they will say low coherence. But in a coffee shop, I would say, what do you mean that kinds of foods? Like, what kinds of foods are you talking about? Okay. So what kind of foods are you talking about? In the past, there were less people who needed to buy that kinds of foods. What kinds of foods?
I mean, maybe meat or vegetables can be an example.
Okay, so in the past, there were less people who needed to buy international foods.
Yeah.
Like fish and bananas. I'm just making it up here. It's a little bit off for me, but I'm going to go with the flow to try to make it as clear as possible. So stores were not able to supply foods from foreign producers, let's say. Okay, sure. And then now you said, but these days they need to get much more. So here my question would be like, much more what? So what do you mean they need to get much more?
They need to get much more food.
Like, do you mean variety of food? Like kinds of food? Or more volume so that they can supply more people?
No, they need to get much more foods, I would like to say.
Okay, I think I get what you're saying. So, but these days they need to get a bigger stock of food to keep up with demand. So again, we're getting into more challenging thoughts. So you have to express these clearly. But these days they need to get a bigger stock of food to keep up, or a bigger supply of food if you don't know the word stock. Supply of food to keep up with growing demand. And then here you said at the end, and I also read an article that was about grocery store operation. What was that article about?
I mean, to supply food operation.
Okay, so here, as your examiner, and I'm purely telling you this, like, what is the IELTS examiner thinking, okay? Because this is inside of the IELTS examiner's head. If you finish this answer with this, and I also read an article that was about a grocery store operation, me as the examiner, what's happening in my head is I'm basically like, oh, this candidate watched a video that told him to say this to get a good band score. But it doesn't make any sense. So be really careful with just using templates. Okay. And where that really felt like it was happening was in the second question, where I asked you about will it change in the future? And you gave me another what seemed like a template answer. Where you said I listened to a podcast. Yeah, it was like, it's like, okay, you read an article, now you listen to a podcast. It's really sounding kind of just like a memorized template type of answer. So be really careful with that. You can use those leading ideas, but you have to use them in a natural, correct way. Okay? Otherwise, they will cost you marks, especially if they don't make sense. Okay? So I also read an article that was about grocery store operation that has changed since 2010, whereby stores stock 30% more food than in the 90s. So now it would make sense for what you're actually saying. Okay, let me repeat the full answer, and then you will see how suddenly, or with these changes, all of this starts to make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So how have grocery stores changed in the last 20 years? Grocery stores have changed in 2 decades. In the past, there were less people who needed to buy international foods like fish and bananas. So stores were not able to supply foods from foreign producers. These days, they need to get a bigger supply of food to keep up with growing demand. Also, I read an article that was about grocery store operation. It stated that it has changed since 2010. Stores now stock 30% more food than in the 90s. Okay, try that. How have grocery stores changed in the last 20 years?
Grocery stores have changed in 2 decades. In the past, there were less people who needed to buy international foods like fish and bananas, so stores were not able to supply foods from foreign producers. These days, they need to get a bigger supply of food to keep up with growing demand. And I also read an article that was about grocery store operation, which state that has changed since 2010, whereby stores stock 30% more food than in the 90s.
Okay, so tricky answer. You have to make sure that you're explaining it clearly with enough detail that the examiner goes, oh, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about, instead of all of those questions left in their head. Okay,
Yeah.
so pay very careful attention to coherence. Otherwise, you can use the fanciest words and the best idioms and the best expressions, but your mark will stay a band 5 because it doesn't make sense. You have to make sense. It's better to use simple words and make sense than to try to use very fancy words and not make sense. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So keep up the studies, and this is how you learn, Karem. This is how you do it. You volunteer, you try it out, you get some feedback, and then I'm sure you'll be better next time, right?
Yeah, I hope. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for volunteering, Karem. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.
Yeah. Same to you. See you.
Bye. All right. Thumbs up for Karem. Okay. That's how you learn. That's how you know. You try it out. You're like, okay, that made sense. That didn't make sense. I need to change that. So that's the way it works. All right. Okay, that is all the time I will spend on this class for now, but ladies, gentlemen, there are lots of you in here. Practice with each other, ping each other. So just like you're pinging me, ping another student and say, hey, do you want to try a couple of questions? You've got questions up here, okay? In this interface, you can click on places, and then you've got beautiful building, entertainment, populated place. Let's talk about ball games. Let's talk about the weather. So you've got lots and lots of questions that you can see there. See, they're right there. Okay. So try them out. Students, we're using aehelp.com. This is General IELTS here, and this is our Academic IELTS website here. So you can click the big red button that's right there to join our premium IELTS package. Right there. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. That was awesome, and I hope that you come back, and I hope you check us out tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to host a class on Discord server, IELTS Prep. So check that out. IELTS Prep. Let's see where that is, and I will have the schedule on the YouTube channel for next week as well. Okay. There's the IELTS Prep link. Check out our newest video on the website, and make sure to visit us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS, glshelp.com for general IELTS. Have an awesome rest of the weekend, and thank you so very, very much for your time. I hope that you've learned a lot, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Much love to all of you, wherever you are in our big, beautiful world. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria for now. Bye, everybody.